The idea for Downhill came about as I was sitting in intellectual heritage class, doodling, and Shane taps me on the shoulder and says, "I have an idea for a movie where you go around killing people." And I said, I'd be down for that.
Early stages was Shane would write an outline. We'd go into this little lobby area and talk about it, and I'd tell him what was stupid and that he was a jerk, and it was just it was this whole process of starting with a small idea and expanding on it. First me and Shane, like we would try to break out an outline, like so something to start with. Then Shane would write the script, and then we would all get together and discuss the script. And then Shane would go and redo the script, and it eventually just molded itself together.
It took like 2 full weeks, but I wrote the bulk of it within like 2 nights. And then we sat down with like the 5 main people. It was 5 main people plus I think Sam, Hal, and Chris were a part of this. So it was like me, Sam, Chris, Pat, Jason, Joe, Frank, and we all sat down. Everyone read the script. We all read it together, and then in the end, we're just like, there used to be cops in the movie, and cops are out now, because if we wanted to make a more surrealistic movie. So that's basically what happened. We all just said, this works, this doesn't. I want this. I want more of this in the movie. I want less of this in the movie. So that's how the script was written.
Originally, there was 5 of us. It was me, Shane, Jason, Pat, and Frank. And we all wanted to make a feature-length movie because of somebody else we knew that made one, and we wanted to make one before them. It was just pretty much decided that we would all of us would pretty much be crew. And then Galani and Sam came aboard.
We had the idea that Joe was going to be the main character, the lead character, since the beginning, just because he was the only one who really knew he was a good actor. And Chris came about because he was always around, and he's a really good actor in his own right. And a lot of other characters, like I was really all about having friends be in it, because I was all about having a good time. I wanted to have a good time with this movie and have all the friends together. And it was also another thing of trust. Like, I trust Joe to be there when we need him, and it's easier to get that trust with friends. And like with Zach, Tim, he plays Tim. I like Zach. I really wanted Zach in the movie since the beginning, and I really wanted him to have a big part. So we gave him Tim.
The whole process of actually getting Dana was interesting because we had to, actually shoot a rehearsal. And we were just, giddy to have a camera set up, and we were talking, and we had our little papers and everything. It was cute.
Rachel, we went through like 6 of them. Each one at some point said yes, they would love to do it, and then backed out. And at the last minute, it was very last minute, but I asked my friend Melissa from my adventure climbing class if she would want to do it, and she said okay, so she came out and helped us out.
The budget was $1,113.17.
Pretty much we all threw in about equal shares, and then a couple people couldn't because of financial problems, but then Shane threw in a heap load more to cover all the extra expenses, so primarily him, but each of us kind of threw in our little piece as well.
Most of the money went towards the boxcars.
Sound equipment, tapes. I know we used a lot of DV tapes.
Went to a couple bulbs, some dry erase markers, some boxcars, a shotgun mic.
All that type of stuff.
Downhill was shot on a Panasonic DVX-100A. We decided to use that one because we could shoot in 24 frames, and we were trying to get that movie look.
Digital, shooting digital is just, it's cheap. I would like to shot on film if we had the capability to shoot on film, but obviously film is pretty impossible with only $1,100.
We pretty much just use like conventional methods, like using rule of thirds for the framing and everything, just trying to get the conventional Hollywood look for like the close-ups and whatever. And we're like, for the lighting, we didn't really worry too much about it because like when you look at comedies and everything, it's not very stylistic lighting. So we were just trying to get everything lit just to look natural rather than stylistic. So we were just trying to go for the classic Hollywood cinema, if you will, of comedy lighting. So, and just the look of it all.
Alright, ready guys?
Camera's rolling.
Alright, action. Production began December 8th.
We shot up until the 23rd.
It was shot in Jersey. It was freezing, cold, and it was a fun little Christmas project, I guess.
Location-wise, Triton High School was a big part. You know, my alma mater, Chris's alma mater. My house was a big location. I know a lot of stuff was shot at my house. You know, like Dana's room was actually my sister's room. Joe's room was my room. It was my kitchen.
The pool hall was really funny. Is me and Shane walked in there one day to Porky's Pool Hall, and we're just like, "Can we shoot a movie in here?" And they said, "Yeah." And like we showed up that day, and we were there like I think like 4 hours early, and just slept on the floor until everybody showed up. That was pretty cool.
We ended up reshooting a couple scenes. We shot, like, there were some scenes we knew we had to come back and get because we didn't get them when we were out there because of technical problems. We were supposed to have a big epic gunfight. We had problems because the guns were really loud. So we had to go back after the movie was pretty much all edited and reshoot the final fight and the end of the race and the beginning of the race and some other stuff like filler scenes so that things made sense.
Boxcar race was fun. People have actually asked if we did a green screen, but we didn't. My friend Andrew, the one who built them, he has a Ranchero. It's like a flatbed truck car thing. So we put the boxcars in the back of the truck and just filmed it as he drove down a cul-de-sac, and then we'd go back up. It looks pretty fun. It was fun to do it, but I mean, it looks good, I think so. And the actual shots, we would just people would push us off and then run out of the way, and then we just film us going like 2 miles an hour down this little hill. So
My favorite day of shooting was actually a day we didn't even shoot. We went to the woods because initially there was going to be an epic gunfight because Shane had all these fake guns, and I was like, we got to have a gunfight because that's fun, shooting guns in the air and shit. It was going to be fun as hell. But as we got there, we realized that guns, they're loud. So, get the fuck out, loud guns. And we decided against using the guns. But I really had fun. Just that day, we went to Pat's uncle's house. He owned like a little spot of land in the woods. And it was very early in the morning. It was very cold. But it was just fun because we were just sitting there together, all cold as hell, and shooting off guns and shit, walking through the woods. Like I just had a very good time doing that. Yeah, we went to breakfast. It was like very enjoyable. It was a very lax day because like we thought we would have like a busy day of shooting ahead of us, but we went there and we said, well, obviously this is going to work. So we just had a good time pretty much.
Downhill was edited on Adobe Premiere Pro.
the first rough copy, by the time we went back to school, it was done. So the end of January.
He had a rough cut out in 2 weeks, and yeah, we watched it and we were giggling because we finally had a movie and stuff. But and then we actually watched it a couple more times. It was just like, this is a piece of shit, so we had to go back, and Shane had to go back, sit in his lair, dark lair, and edit like a gnome for days on end until it was right, or we'd yell at him and send him back into his lair. So that's exactly pretty much what happened. That's what post-production was.
There were some scenes that like just didn't fit with the flow of the movie. There was one actually where I had a little cameo in it, but it was taken out because it just did not work, in which Joe was going through a sort of training montage at work, and I walked in and I was like, what are you doing? But yeah, it didn't work with the flow, so we were just like, nix that.
The Nintendo scene was canned, and the bathroom scene I liked, to be perfectly honest. To this day, yeah, I haven't seen it cut together, but I thought it was entertaining and interesting, and it had Sam in it about his pants. I know you want that, viewer. But yeah, so like I thought it was entertaining, but I guess if it really didn't work, like it was like one of those throwaway scenes. You can easily throw it away.
After we had like a pretty solid cut, when most of the scenes were all put together, we showed to about 30 people a test cut of the movie, and It went really well. People were laughing at the right moments.
I heard great things. I actually read through some of the test screenings. It's one of those things, like the giddy pleasures you get while you're making a film, because you actually think you're a professional because you get to read through the test screenings. It was like the rehearsal. It was like all this other junk that we did. And it was fun. Like, we actually read through them, and there were like people giving us information, and they went well. Like, people enjoyed them.
We got a lot of excellence, a lot of very goods. We got one fair and a few goods, but it really seemed to go over well. They laughed. Everyone laughed at all the right times. It was just a fun experience to actually have people reacting to what you did the whole time. So.
Let's see. This one, a good. I'm obviously not picking up any of the good ones. Here it goes. What would he tell about his friends about Downhill? Movie about a kid killing people for a girl he liked. Couldn't have said it better myself, buddy. You should be writing movies. You know what you're doing. What do you like about the film? Jonah and Teddy were very good together. Well, I enjoyed our scenes also, and I'm glad you liked us. We are a great pair. And oh, this is good. This is a good one. What, if anything, did you find confusing about the film? Who was Rachel? Obviously, either we didn't explain the character, or he like got up in the bathroom whenever scenes came up. He didn't know who she was, buddy. I can't help you with that one. I would ask you to see the movie again, but this Phantom Rachel is probably not going to help you out anymore.
My overall experience was filled with anger, hate, rage, a lot of hate, a lot of anger. But it's the good times I remember. It's the good times I will cherish. Those memories of fighting and name calling and childish bickering. I really enjoy those.
Overall experience on Downhill. I love these guys. I love working with them. They're good friends of mine, great friends of mine. And it's rare. I'm sure that not many professional actors can say that they're friends with the entire crew and the director and the co-stars of a film. Like, that's a rare thing, and that's something you miss out in like the professional Hollywood and stuff. And it was like raw fun.
Between you and me, these people are fuckers.